Welcome to the Go Live stream of the Dependable Testing Laboratories NIJ 1004.00 conference with demonstration of the devices that are currently being tested. I have an example right here where I'm going to show the unit being removed from the charger doing the communication test that was listed in the NIJ demonstration earlier. I will be using the chamber to show the unit losing a signal being left in here for a period of time and being opened up. And I will also demonstrate the development process of checking the points on the system using Visual Studios. So here we are, back at you. Remember earlier how I talked about the NIJ 1004.00 and CCT testing. This is a demonstration example of CCT testing. You, as the customer, would have a login to the system, and you would have your list of tests that are going to be run against the devices that you have provided Dependable Testing Laboratories. And as I said earlier, from where you are, you'll be able to trigger this. Now, I'm going to trigger this, and I'm going to show you how it runs. So what you would do from your location, wherever you are, you'll select to run based off the latest release. And you would select run. And over here, you'll see that the trigger for the run has started up here in the system, and we'll be able to view the results once they come in. But if you notice here, the job is running on the server. It's starting to run. And our GPS device is going to start its test. So the unit was just removed from the charger. Now it was placed back onto the charger so that it would get a fully charged point, and the test would start from there. So on your system, you'll be waiting for the unit to show that it's running. And as you can see on your display here, you're seeing that's in progress. This test is actually running here locally on the device. The server is communicating to the device, running the hardware test, and then the software will be checked. The website will be checked to confirm that there was a start and stop point. Those of you that are online, I'll give you a glimpse of this too. So I'll show you Azure DevOps. Now, in this case, the person, you, started the test. Essentially, I started the test from this computer, and I started running it on the server that's over here that's connected to the unit so that the GPS tracking device can be tested. And what the unit will show on the customer side is that the test is in progress. Right now, the unit is off of the charger for its 2 minutes. So while the unit is doing that, I will discuss a little bit about the next test that we will show. This is a RF electroanatomic chamber, and this is used for shielding out all of the RF signals, so cellular, Bluetooth, GPS, Wi-Fi, everything is blocked out from it. It does have some connections that in the future, dependable testing laboratories will be using to generate different tests and verifications. If you heard, the unit has now been placed back onto the charger. The unit's been off of the charger for 2 minutes. So now the unit is now seeing that it's going to start charging. And DevOps, if we look at, again, we're looking at the tests, you'll still continue to see the waiting for, but you'll the test continues to be in progress in the test plan. So when we go back to it, you continue to see that it does not have any results. Because the test is not fully completed at this time. So right now, as you can see, the unit is logging in. The system is checking, the server is checking to ensure that the unit has started the charge, and it had a point that said it was stopped. Switch to this. So on this PC, you can see that the unit is logging into the system that is being under test. It's looking for this stop point and this start point to ensure that the system has that. Once the server has verified it, so it confirmed, it will, after the entire job has completed, it will run and mark the result as successful. So once we see the successful here, we'll go back to the other computer and we'll see that the Azure DevOps entry for passing the test has been updated. This is the beginning of CCT, Continuous Certification Testing, verifying that the unit will meet the standard certification, different regulation requirements. In this case, this is a shortened version of the communication test to ensure that the device is communicating properly. The hardware side confirmed, hey, this unit provided a fully charged to the person using the GPS device. So it provided it using the LEDs. Vibration is used. There's a feature for adding vibration to it, so that can be added in. Then the unit is checked in the system to confirm that the unit has provided the start and stop point. So as we go back to the other PC, we will see it was showing progress, in progress. Load, we'll see that it shows a past result. And when you look at your test, wherever you were, and you reload it, you'll see that the test actually combines not only a software test, but it combines a hardware test to ensure that the device is functioning in the proper way. And like I said earlier, it's providing the user of the device a indicator to say, yes, the unit actually charged and it completed its charge. It's using that LED to determine that the unit is charging, so that it sees on the hardware side, yes, the unit's fully charging. And then on the software side, the system is logging in and actually checking the site to confirm that those points were provided, that there was a start point and a stop point. Test to remove the unit. And this is a GPS unit, GPS device. It has 3 LEDs. It has the GPS, the power, and the cell. So you can see whether or not the unit has GPS. It's blinking. It's the power when it's connected to power. So when they function differently depending on the manufacturer. And cellular, when it's communicating cellular, it has an LED indicates when it's calling. Now, in this case, the next test we're going to demonstrate is the GPS acquisition signal test. The unit is to take a point every minute. So while the unit is running, it's taking a point, and while it's in motion. So the unit is set down. This is a shortened version this is a demo version of the position, or this is a demo version of the acquisition test. So the unit is taking points as it should while it's in motion. Set the unit down, okay? And we are going to now open the chamber, and we're going to set the unit in there for 2 minutes. Now, while the unit is in there, it's unable to make a call. It is unable at this time to collect GPS signal, and it doesn't have any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and there is no power. So the unit is in there. It should be trying to collect points. It should be trying to call out, and it will sit in there for the next 2 minutes. At this point, this test is still under development. We don't have an example here on the test plan that we've put together. As we develop the system tests, we're going to continue to test this. What we'll look for up in the system is we'll be looking for a time that the unit called right, to provide the positions and to ensure that that position is a valid position. It's supposed to be within a certain range of where it's supposed to be according to the NIJ standard 1004.00. So to shorten the time, so after the unit's been in here, so units tend to go to rest after a period of time. So after a period of time, the unit will stop taking points because it has stopped moving around. There is plans to implement a way to have the unit in motion while it's in the chamber so that it can continue to try and pull those points. Because like I said earlier, eventually there will be a GPS simulator to be able to simulate the tests that we're looking to verify against the NIJ 1004.00 using some antennas, so GPS antenna and a passive active antenna eventually will be connected to the RF chamber, and those will be used to verify that the unit is pulling the GPS points and that it has the correct positions and everything like that when it's provided to the system. So our 2 minutes are up. So now we are going to open our system. We're going to put our GPS unit back down. And now we're going to pull up the GPS tracking device and look at the positions here. So let's change this. So right here, we're pulling up the positions for the device. Now, many of the websites have different information in different locations, so you can always look to try and find positions. So these are position points. Track. So if we look at today's points, so this point here is an indicator that the unit has lost cell. So put a cursor here. You see that the unit had tried to call in this time. So depending on your particular system or depending on the manufacturer that's created the devices, your system will look very different than this. You will have different values. And there is one final test I'd like to show you guys. That would be the position test. Now, right now, it's under development in Azure DevOps. So previously, in the past, I've run the unit for over an hour while I was taking points driving around. And this test will actually pull the information for those positions and put them in to determine that, ensure that I took the correct amount of points, and to ensure that the positions are valid. So again, here, this is actually running. Eventually, it'll be set into Azure DevOps, and in that code from Visual Studio to execute automatically from Azure DevOps in the test plan. So right now it's going to the points, the positions, reports, so that it can pull up the report, and it'll select a specific period of time. In this case, it's showing the last 7 days. And that's it. And in this case, the test fails. It's not able to continue past that point of selecting additional dates. So that is it for the live demonstration. So, in the end, now it shows where we're back at. All right. Well, I'd like to thank all the live stream. Anything that comes up, please reach out. You can always contact me. My name is Robert Phillip from Dependable Testing Laboratories. I look forward to starting a journey with you guys to help standardize the industry for the offender tracking system, and hopefully bring our confidence level up in how the devices work, both in the industry and publicly to all of the people out there. Thank you. Those of you that are online, again, I'd like to show you how the site works, at least at this point in time. Show you how the test plan can be exited anywhere. So looking at here, you can see that the run history of this. Okay. And you can always select it. And although it ran early just a few minutes ago, we'll be able to select here. Select the stage release. Select the latest. And run it. And again, for the video, you'll see that it picked up the agent job again. And you'll see down here that LabVIEW will run. That is software that determines the difference in information coming from the device sensors that the Arduino puts out. So as you video, you can see that the unit is in progress again. This test has been going for the past 2 years. It's been implemented, and there's been little modifications to it to ensure that the website has been updated by the manufacturer. The test has been updated so that it is functioning, checking the right parts. Is the unit is going to fail, and the reason it's going to fail is because the actual GPS unit is not placed into the holder. So this should show a failure. At the end of the test, it should fail. Okay. So let's go back to the video here. We'll see. So this is LabVIEW. So while the unit was trying to detect it, it didn't complete. It didn't see that the unit was there. So it stopped reading, and it's going to remove the charger. And for 2 minutes, it'll be off of the charger. And you'll continue to see that this is in progress and the unit is running. It doesn't have a unit to be checked against. So at this time, the unit is going to fail the hardware test, which means all of the tests will fail. Or this particular test will fail. Now it's placed it back onto the charger. So now that the unit has stopped, hasn't completed that part of the test, you'll see here on the server, show you that this is going to show that it's a fail. The hardware never updates it to a true, so the hardware never completes its test. And so the job will fail. Now, the website will continue to pass because the site does have a charge start and a charge stop point. Now, in this case, the unit looks like it's going to time out, not being able to load this due to the internet connection. Yep, there it is. Let's see how it goes. May have a lot going on the Wi-Fi. Always more that can be done to make it function. So now that it has seen that the test failed because the hardware failed, you can see online and you can see here that the test case is now failed. So that is how the continuous certification testing works for dependable testing laboratories. Thank you again, and I look forward to being able to share more details about us and more details about the NIJ as time continues on. And goodbye.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah?
Yep,
Did you
yep.
have anybody?
Yeah. No,